Yo, what's going on, trading family? How's it been? It's been a minute, right? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy D, right? This is D's Daily Due Diligence, all right, guys? So I want to remind you, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, right? So don't take it as that. Take it for educational and entertainment purposes only, all right, guys? Welcome back, okay? So it's been a while. I haven't, made that many videos because I was on a trip. I was on vacation. And man, I had a good time, right? I relaxed. I went to the beach with some friends, right, in Mexico, and we had a good old time, all right? I'll show you some pictures here as as I'm moving along here talking. But I hope while I was gone, I hope you guys did your due diligence, right? I hope you kept up on your research, right? And stayed up on the topics and the information, right, that you need to know to stay with it. Because a lot of people say the DD is done and so on, and a lot of the major DD is done. But remember, this is a moving play with AMC, right? You always have to kind of keep your finger on the pulse, right? Kind of keep your eye on the ball and see what's happening, right? So yeah, today, I want to talk about AMC and GME. Nothing too much, but nothing too long, too crazy. There is some things that I found that I over the weekend that I paid attention to, and I want to kind of talk about that. And it has to do with the options chain, and it's kind of exposing what's going on with the options chain. All right, guys, and I have the whiteboard to break it all down. All right, guys, yeah. But I had some great seafood, right? I had some beer, some margaritas, tequila, right? Good old times with the friends. We hung out on the beach, rode some ATVs, right? Some quads, some jet skis as well. So yeah, it was just nice to not have to work, right, and kick back for a minute. And yeah, I'm a big fan of seafood, so I was eating ceviche, tostadas, right? Camarón, right? What is it called? It's a cocktail, right? Like a mixture of seafood and stuff. So it even has like octopus, scallops. I had some fresh oysters too. So so I'm probably starting to peel a little bit, as you could tell, right? Got a lot of sun out there too, and I just love the beach, right, guys? So yeah, and met up with some friends too, right? And we went to a couple bars and things like that. All right, so I'll show you some pictures of all that stuff. Yeah, but today, I'm ready to get back. I'm ready to continue to do this with the family, with the traders out here, the apes, right? The retail investors, because I'm one of y'all, right? I'm here for y'all too. And we always have some more to learn, right? Even though I have some experience, right? A couple years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever. I've made moves in the market, I've also made mistakes in the market, but overall, luckily, right, over time with studying and learning about it and educating myself, I've been able to turn profits, right, over time, right? So I'm happy with that progress, and I will, I have information. I'll share the information that I have, but I'm always willing to learn more, right, and expand my knowledge on the market, on what's going on, because when this all started with AMC and whatnot, I didn't know about how where the orders were sent and the market makers and the short interest and things like that, like more of the details, the numbers, right? But I just kept with it, and it just takes time, right? I mean, you're not going to learn everything in a day or two, a week, or nothing like that, but over time you pick up on things, right? And you start to learn, and you can become a better trader over time, right? That's at least the way I go about things, all right, guys? Okay, cool. So yeah, let's jump into this information that I want to show you, right? Because I do have the information on the options chain on this whiteboard, all right, guys? So I'm calling it exposing AMC options chain, right? This information. So let's pay attention, open your ears, right? Apes own 90% of the shares, right? So that's 464.4 million shares of about 4 million AMC shareholders, okay? Now, that's according to CEO Adam, right? So this is what you're left with, 51.6 million shares, which is 10% of the shares, right? According to that breakdown, okay? And then you also have, Fintel, multiple websites, Market Watch, Market B, whatever, that they're saying institutions own 36.79% of the shares, right? So they're doing a lot, right, with just 10% of the shares over this whole ever since July, right? Or maybe a little bit into fall, but when we got confirmation that we own 90% of the shares, right? But ever since then, you're telling me that they've been doing all this with just 10% of the shares? And I'm talking about like the calls, the options, the shorts, the failure to delivers, right? People just buying more shares with 10% of the shares, right? So as of 7/8, right, this past Friday, 39,220 calls landed in the money, right, for the options chain. Now this represents 3.9 million shares, right? Because you have to multiply it times 100, right? And that's just the basics, right? Of just what it represents, the options chain, right? So the current shares available to short is only 550,000, right? At 10.4%. So how is this so low if there is so much to cover and do, right? So just some questions, right? I always, like to question things and think about it. So how can this still be so low and it's going down, right? It was like at 20%, 30%, and now this is going down to 10.4%, the borrow fee, all right? So like I'm like, how are they covering all this stuff, right? With only 10%, especially with how the options chain looks this week. It is absolutely disgusting. It's amazing. I'm pretty sure they'd be close to the whole flow if like say a huge, run up would happen in AMC, they would get past $145 because the highest strike this week is $145. I'm sure it'd be most of the float would be represented there in the options chain, right? In the calls alone. So, and on top of all this, today there's the T plus 35, right? And they're supposed to return 1.7 million failed to delivers, all right? And the volume's kind of low. Maybe they did, right? Maybe that's why we saw that pop at the end, right? But also, what about the options, right? From Friday, and, it should start a gamma ramp because there's so much open interest this week for the options chain, right, guys? So this Friday alone, at set on right, the expiration 7:15, the strike is $145 in the calls. There's 173,000 calls that are open interest right now. This would represent, just alone here at $145 strike, this would represent 17.3 million shares. All right, and I'm not saying that it's guaranteed. I'm not saying like it's gonna go to 145. It can. Anything's possible, right? It's potential. It is, potentially possible because big run-up squeezes happen right in the market. So I'm not saying dates or nothing, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to point out the fact that alone at this strike, that would be 17.3 million shares. All right, so where are these shares coming from, right? What are they doing? We're all holding, so all the volume, comes from them doing things like this, right? With the options, they're trying to just suppress the price, see how many shorts are available to short, right? But just want to point out, right, how are they doing all this with just 10%, right? And then especially if that 10% should be gone though, because the institutions own 37% of the shares, right? So how are they covering all this? All right, guys. So I just wanted to put some numbers out here, give you some information on that. All right, I'm gonna move on now over to, yeah, let's just go here. Now I want y'all to be careful, right? This is I'm a millennial, right? So I'm gonna tell you guys what's going on here, but according to Unusual Whales, 70% of millennials are now living paycheck to paycheck. All right, guys. So remember, you have to be safe out there. Be careful right now because inflation rates, interest rates, all that stuff is going up, credit card rates, and a lot of people are using their savings right now. All right, guys. So just be careful. I'm back too. I'm not taking any trips here soon. I took one that I could afford, and right now, after this, it's back to the grind. All right. So just an article that came out today, right, by the street, but AMC stock next earnings will be worth watching. On August 4th, AMC reports its second quarter results. CEO Adam predicts a big post-earnings move for the stock. This was 9 hours ago, right? So it's mostly having to do with the fundamentals, right? I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just want to point out that they put this article out, right? So less than a month away from reporting, AMC investors have some extra motivation to tune in, right? Because of the recent tweet statement hinted at major new catalyst for AMC shares. Everyone's still waiting to see what the news will be, all right? But I keep getting asked, right? Everybody's seen this tweet, when pounce. So read between those lines, all right? So yeah, right now, like if this week alone, though, if the price were to start running, there would be no shares, right? It would be a huge mess, right? In my opinion. So CEO's message that a short squeeze may occur after the company's earnings. All right, so you have the media putting this information out already, which is what I think is interesting, right? But August 4th has caused euphoria among AMC shareholders, aka the apes. Retail enthusiasm has sent the theater chain shares nearly 20% higher over the past 2 trading days. AMC short interest is almost 22% of its flow, with 113 million out of 513 million shares being held short. And they're gonna go over the fundamentals. I'll put the link down below. It's not that long, but I don't really want to talk about fundamental numbers right now, right? I'm more interested in what's going on in the back end and on the chart. So yeah, guys, here we were up slightly, 1.88% at 14.94. It is struggling at around $15 right now. But it doesn't mean anything, right? Because this is what happened last time too, right? After we had the big run up, it dropped after hours. And then the regular next day, boom, we got the next leg up, all right? So that's what I'm paying attention to right now. But we do have a lot of crosses on the EMAs, a lot of signals that tomorrow I'm looking for a crossover 15. All right, that's all I'm really looking for. I believe at 15 to 20, right, is like their last pressure leg where above $20 it starts going parabolic, all right, at least in a faster, more volume, right? More shorts are gonna get pushed out, just in my opinion. So I'm gonna keep zooming out. With the EMAs, you see how you get these crosses. This is still riding on the 10-minute. You still got the price riding the top EMA, all right? So bouncing, that's the 200, right? So we got the cross here. I'm going to go on to the 30-minute chart. Zooming out. Again, you got a cross here, right? With the EMAs, and we're still pushing, all right? So luckily it's holding. This 1450 is a major support zone too, okay? You gotta remember there's different channels and zones too, right? It's gonna trade in. What I really like is more as we zoom out. So the 4-hour chart, again, we got the cross here, right? So you see this EMA, and this one's gonna stay in the middle, and then whenever, oh sorry, the blue one should be in the middle, and as long as we keep holding this line, right, we should continue to go up. And I'm really excited because we got it on the daily, or sorry, we're about to, right? We're crossing over. We haven't gotten it yet on the daily, my bad. It was on the 4-hour that we got it, but now it's kind of following this pattern, and we've had 3 green days in a row, and it looks like we're coming for the 100-day. So it's the 50, the 100, here's the 200, right? So the real explosiveness would happen at around $20 right here, right? So because you have the major downtrend and you have this EMA at around 19.89, $20, all right? So I still have my extension here, and it seems to be following, right? This channel here, ever since this move. Didn't go all the way to 16, but it came up, down, and now it seems to be riding back up, and that's what I mean. Like, we'll see if it can reach the $26 level, all right, here soon, if not more, all right? Because I'm just saying, guys, the options chain is just ridiculous right now. We're fine over here, down here on the RSI, and we're looking good on the MACD, all right, because we got the orange line on top, so that's still bullish momentum, and it's green, all right? And I'm on the daily chart right now, so it's good to see the strength, and we're looking good with the momentum too, right? We're holding because we came back down and we tested this, and then it was all green, all right? So most likely now we got to go move on and test this. So tomorrow I'm looking for $15 to $17, right? At least, right, in that range, okay, guys? So yeah, just want to point out, AMC outperformed the market today, did very well for what the market was, right? But this was AMC's most attended, highest grossing weekend in 2022 so far. More than 5.9 million guests joined us globally. Admissions revenue about double the same weekend of 2021 and 12% above 2019 pre-pandemic levels. To industry doubters who predict extinction of theaters choke on that, all right? And this was a tweet sent today. So obviously very confident, and we're, again, going into earnings, right? So pretty soon we're going to get the new FTD information. I was looking at the institutional ownership, and this is what it says, right? 36.79 on Fintel. And I'm not leaving, right, until these shorts close, all right? 11 million shares. Citadel also owns, that was Susquehanna. Citadel, almost 5 million shares short, right? And the list goes on, but I'm not leaving until they cover these shares, all right, guys? I just want to say that, right? It's what I'm doing with my shares. And again, here's the proof, right? There was 1.7 million shares FTDs due today. Again, I don't know if they delivered those. There was kind of low volume. I think like 29, 30 million volume, somewhere around there. So hey, they could have snuck them in there. But remember the options chain too. What happened with the options from last Friday, right? Let's go and check this. All right, so you got a little bit of a spike, not really a spike, but just 11% now, 500,000 shares, all right? And yeah, right here, so 503,000 open interest calls, 53,000 in the money right now. and there's more puts in the money, 77,900. All right, so for some reason there's just by Friday, this is super loaded, right, compared to the rest. But where would they come up with that? Like that would be a massive jump in my opinion. If the price starts running, right, how do they cover all those? There's no shares. Like how? Cool. I'm just gonna show you again, right? The options chain. Here's some of the numbers. Here's the calls, right? So like I was saying, at 15 alone, there's another 24,694 open interest right now. So that's a huge level. That's why I want to see it cross above 15 tomorrow. All right. So as we can continue, if we continue to run, guys, at $20, there's another 49,000. It's just there's so much volume right now, guys, just on the options chain. So yeah, look all the way, and just alone right here, like I said, it represents 17.3 million shares that could be exercised, right? If the buyers landed in the money. Okay, so there's that. As far as GME, it's looking great too. We're all waiting on the split, right, to see what happens. But today they ran out of shares on GME to borrow, right, again. So there was 250,000. Somebody took them, and they are gone, right? So 0%. And I already went over this information in the past videos, but it looks like the shorts have until the last day, right? The last business day before the dividend is issued, okay? And it's up to them, right? Because if they hold on, then they are responsible to pay that dividend. So yeah, this is the daily chart for GME, guys. What I do like, right, while I was gone, this is what I was thinking, that it was going to break out. And it did break out of this downtrend, but it wasn't like a massive breakout because of the EMAs too. So it's just been trading sideways. But what I do like, right, ever since this low, it's been on an uptrend. It's going up, moving up. So if it continues to follow the uptrend, right, we're looking at a little bit more upside. I only have a few shares there. It looks like we're also waiting for this EMA to cross back over, so we can start to get that bullish move, all right? Because you want the blue line on top, right? See how the blue line's on the bottom right now? If you want to see some bullish apish momentum, you want to see the blue line, the EMA on top, right, guys? So that's just what I'm looking at here on the GME chart, right? So it's in this massive triangle here. And if we can get that break, we're waiting on the split. So maybe once the split, you'll see some heavy volume, right? Depending on what the shorts decide to do at that point. And the fee is just steady holding at 36%, which is good. It had a massive jump. Remember when it went 100%, they found supposedly some shares, and it's just been holding this 30% range. All right, guys. So yeah, that's the information. I know it's a long video right now, a lengthy video, but I did want to show you a lot. I had a lot to talk about. And yeah, I gave you what I'm looking for tomorrow, especially with AMC. All right, but we have these 3 bullish green candles right now. So I expect to see that continuation. All right, guys. And yeah, that's all I really got. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We're staying good right now. Okay, guys, in my opinion. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching, like always, guys. And I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. So peace.